Lovely, thank you. Thanks very much, Tina. Thank you very much for the invitation to be here today. It's so nice to come and talk to people who are equally as enthusiastic as I am about talking about this topic, this incredibly challenging problem. So I'm a member of the Bladder and Bowel Management Research Group at the University of Southampton in the UK, and our focus is on developing and evaluating products and strategies to improve the quality of life of people who are living with long-term continence problems. And today I'm going to present an overview of some perspectives on the reuse of continence products. So firstly, who needs continence products? Which is something we've already touched on today. There's a perception that continence products are something to be avoided, and certainly any reversible causes of incontinence always need to be treated, and people should be supported to use the toilet where at all possible. But for many people living with incontinence, it's a long-term reality for a variety of reasons. And for those people, effective containment and management products are absolutely fundamental to maintaining dignity, health and quality of life, as has already been touched on today. And getting the right product can be life-changing for people. And there's a huge range of products available, and this slide just shows a small selection, and different products work for different people in different circumstances, and many people use different products for different activities. For example, one type during the day, one type at night, or one for exercise, one when they're out of the house. And almost all of these products are available in both single-use and reusable options. Today, I'm going to focus on two types of commonly used products. That's absorbent pads and intermittent catheters, and just have a little look at the reuse issues around both of these products. So, firstly, to say that single-use products are relatively new. Until recent decades, reusable products dominated. And in many parts of the world, of course, they still do. For absorbent pads, cellulose products were introduced from the 1950s onwards, with super-absorbent polymers coming in the 80s and 90s, similar to the products that we still have. Single-use intermittent catheters became prevalent in the 80s and the 90s, with the introduction of hydrophilic coatings that I'm going to talk a little bit more about in a moment. So what are the problems with single-use products? Again, we've touched on a little bit on this already. The costs of these products are high. Some people in our studies were spending well over £100, that's roughly 120 euros a month on absorbent disposable products. And the market now exceeds $10 billion globally per annum on adult products, and that's increasing at roughly 7.5% a year. Similarly, with single-use intermittent catheters, people might use 5 a day. That's roughly 150 a month, and each catheter costing a couple of euros each. The cost, whoever that cost falls to, is huge. And these products are expensive in all parts of the world, but the cost in many areas is prohibitive. And then there's the waste caused by producing and disposing of these products. So now there was a bit of debate earlier on these figures, and there aren't great figures. The ones I found that in the UK alone, over 1 billion continence pads end up in landfill every year. And in the USA, around 1.5 million non-biodegradable intermittent catheters are used every day. There can also be a problem with the effectiveness of single-use products. They don't work well for everyone, and there's a perception of reusables as inferior in terms of performance, but that's not always the case. So there was a study undertaken by Mandy Fader at Southampton looking at which designs work best for men and women with moderate to heavy urinary incontinence. And for men, when compared to single-use disposable products, a reusable washable product was more highly rated for nighttime use, with considerably lower rates of leakage, described by one participant as bomb-proof. But this is not to say that reusable products are necessarily better. They, of course, come with their own advantages and disadvantages. So some examples of those. For energy and waste, fewer products to produce and throw away, but energy and water are required for cleaning. And this can be a major factor if, for example, tumble dryers are used to dry absorbent products. We need more cradle-to-grave analysis of environmental factors, looking at different reuse methods and different products. The cost per use of reusables diminish with their use, but the initial outlay is higher, and with increasing energy prices, actually the cost of cleaning can also be very high, and drying if in the case of absorbents. And there's also the cost of trial and error to find the right products, and that can be expensive, for example, with washable absorbent products. quality and effectiveness. There is the potential to develop high-quality reusable products, but currently reusable absorbents are often seen as less effective than single-use products. Cleaning burden falls to the user or the carer, requires the facilities to be available, but on the other side, disposal of single-use products can also be a challenge. And the cleaning process, is it adequate? Or is it going to increase risk of infection or other problems? And also the impact on lifestyle. Fewer products are required. This can make it easier for travel and storage. But for example, with reusable products, you might end up carrying around soiled products when you're out of the home. So there's lots of pros and cons. And simply put, we just don't know enough about reusing continence products, their effectiveness, the environmental impact and cost. So I'm going to very briefly look at 2 studies that we're currently undertaking to look at these issues from different perspectives. So first of all, the Multicath study, intermittent catheters in the UK and many other countries. In 1970s, plain uncoated intermittent catheters, in-out catheters, were generally reused by individual users. And then in the 80s and 90s, new designs were introduced with either pre-coated with gels or with hydrophilic coatings, and these catheters were single-use only. And by around 2000, licensing regulations changed, and in the absence of evidence-based cleaning guidelines, all flexible intermittent catheters in the UK were licensed for single-use only. And it's not just in the UK, it's also other countries. And this situation remains today. And the perception is that single-use catheters cause less urinary tract infections than reusables, but there's no evidence to support this. Therefore, the Multicath trial at Southampton aims to establish whether mixed use of intermittent catheters, that is, reusing reusable catheters sometimes and single-use at others, is no more likely to cause infection than single-use only. Preparatory work established that using Milton fluid is a safe cleaning method for reuse, and a non-inferiority randomised controlled trial with over 500 participants is currently underway to address the question, is mixed use combining multi-use and single-use catheters as safe as single-use catheters, and is it cost effective? So if mixed use is demonstrated to be as safe as single use, there are still many challenges to providing reuse as an option, including the availability of licensed catheters for reuse, and also barriers in terms of healthcare professionals and users' views on switching from single to reusable. The second project is one that Kylie mentioned briefly earlier. It's a WHO-funded qualitative study examining people's needs and experiences of using and providing washable absorbent products in India, Romania and Papua New Guinea. This study is currently underway. Washable products have been provided to a small number of people in these 3 countries through partners in each country to find out what people think about using them. Before using the washable products, participants were using a range of products, including disposable pads, catheters, homemade products, or just making do. Very early results suggest a wide range of opinions. Some people have welcomed the washables and they find that it's given them a new lease of life, new independence, they find them comfortable and it's saving them a considerable amount of money. But others find they don't work well and won't continue to use them. Problems include leakage, smell, skin, damage and poor fit. And some people decline to accept the washable products because they didn't have the facilities to wash them. So these 2 studies highlight some of the barriers and motivators for introducing or reintroducing reusable products. Acceptance of reusable products will differ enormously on what's being replaced. For example, if single-use products are being replaced by reusable products, how much money is being saved? Who is saving the money? Who has the burden of cleaning the product? Are facilities for cleaning available? And crucially, are reusable products as effective, safe and comfortable as single-use products? Even when thinking about the same product design, it's likely that service providers will find different answers to these questions in different contexts. But what is clear is that innovation is needed, and I'm really looking forward to the next couple of presentations looking on the biodegradable single-use products. But when we're thinking about reusables, we need new materials and designs that do an effective job and can be easily cleaned. For example, absorbent products need to effectively contain waste, be comfortable, be adaptable enough to fit different body shapes and sizes, and be easy to wash and dry and not smell. So it's quite a tall order, what we're asking for. We do need innovation. And for intermittent catheters, We need low friction surfaces for the catheter so they can be inserted and removed with minimal lubricant without sticking to the urethra. Cleaning methods need to be energy efficient and consider resource use. All reusable products should come with guidance on cleaning methods, and we need products that are affordable, usable, accessible, and in all contexts, but especially thinking about low to middle income countries. Thank you.